Are we gonna talk politics? I don't want to do that. That's fine.
We'll have a vote. We have a voting special. We have a little like
That's fine.
make sure people vote.
But you're not gonna ask me what I.
Oh
what
no
I
no
vote,
no
right?
no
Okay,
no.
I don't.
Your voter's guide. Mary Jane, good afternoon and welcome once again to About That Time. I'm your host, Noah Rubin, and I could not be more excited because today we have an extremely special guest. We have Shavo from System of a Down. He's here to talk not only everything you need to know about System, but about a very, very exciting announcement that he's just made to the public. He has dropped his own cannabis line, 22 Red. Shavo, thank you so much for coming through, sir.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no thanks necessary, man. So walk us through what's going on with this this product you have in the streets right now.
It's not in the streets yet. I'm dropping this Sunday, 11/11, our first drop. We're doing quality apparel, which I'm standing by, and also our first 2 flavors of pre-rolls.
Okay, what flavors did we select for the first round of pre-rolls here?
You know, we're supposed to be dropping the name and stuff as it comes on Instagram as the days are, getting closer to 11/11. But yeah, I'm just gonna tell you, we're dropping our OG, which is we're calling it 22 OG, which is like one of my favorite strains, and we're dropping something I found recently. There's a long story. This is called Church 22, but the last time I smoked this strain, it was around 22 years ago, around 96, 97, to when like System was about to get signed.
Right.
We were still like grabbing weed off the street, and we had the spot down, I should say, 52nd and like San Pedro, like really bad area. Way out there, but there was like this, this dude that sold us the dank church. We called it church because when you smoked it, the exhale smoke was like frankincense. It smelled like a Catholic or a Christian church. That
Those
smell.
are dudes that walk
Yeah. It had that smell. So it was like you would know that it was that flower. You would know it was that strain just by the smell of the exhale smoke. So I haven't had that smell. I haven't had that feeling since 96, 97, and we've been looking forward ever since just to smoke it all over the world. I've traveled. I've gone everywhere. Just never come across it. I've asked people in Amsterdam, my friend Arjan, he actually found something, called it the church, tagged it, because it was such an interesting concept with it. It wasn't about anything but the way it smells. It just makes you feel like you're
in the church.
Like a ritual, like kind of a tabernacle, like kind of a vibe, It's a vibe. It's a vibe. So I found it. I found a little bit of it. I took whatever I can get, and it's one of my favorite growers of all time. Found it for me, actually, because I've been asking him since I met him, like, if you ever come across this, and he didn't even know he had it. He was like, I got 6 strains. This was like a month and a half ago. I have 6 strains. We haven't smoked yet. We just dried. It's perfect to smoke. Let's taste them. Let's roll a J of each and smoke. The 3rd joint, the room was like, whew, I was like praying. So I jumped on it, and I was like,
now,
please, let's.
Shavo, there's one thing we like more than talking about weed on About That Time, and that's smoking weed. So
let's
break this open.
Would you like to do
that?
that?
Before we get deeper into the story, because it's getting very
I haven't.
This
is the first time. This is the first time I'm opening one of our packages. No, I've smoked there. Of course, I smoked
This
it.
is a very exciting
but we've
moment.
never.
This is a weed debut
of the
on
church.
About That Time. Shavo from System of a Down is debuting his weed. This is, you've heard of a debut song. You've heard of a video debut. This is a weed debut.
It is,
guys.
actually. I'm not joking.
This is the world's first.
You need that old MTV shit
debut.
where it says all your
Yeah,
names
yeah,
on the side. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So we did the childproof, of course,
Yeah, because protect the kids. All right, this is the church. Here we are going in. We got the nice 22 logo in the rolling.
On the
tips.
tips?
Yeah.
Good.
Something I wanted. Everything I touch, I kind of want it to be just not just quality in the way it's gonna smoke and smell and feel, also the way it's gonna make you feel by looking at it, man. I want to give everything a vibe, my vibe. So I've been doing that.
Yeah, not many people do the custom tip. That's awesome.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's see what we're working with here. Everyone's got fire. We're premiering some weed, guys. It's the 22 Red. It's the Church 22, correct?
22. Yeah, Church 22.
Church 22, guys. Here and About That Time. First time ever smoked from its packaging.
Smell the smell.
And you're here with us.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It smells like a shop.
Right?
Like a shop that smells incense or some shit.
Yeah. Right?
I know exactly
but
what
it's
you mean.
but you don't smell it.
Vibe.
I've been looking for this for 22 freaking years, bro.
That's kind of odd that it smells like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So good.
Feel uplifted. Feel in touch with the higher spiritual plane.
No, you can totally. That's exactly
Like,
what you're saying.
this is something that I want to kind of make a standard where everyone will like, oh, that's a church. Oh, he's smoking the church. Because you can smell
it's
it.
that specific fucking
Yeah,
smell.
you know what I mean? There's like, it's not out there.
Just gotta push it on everybody, man. Make
And
them try it out.
my dude, I'm calling Mr. X. My dude found it for me, and so he's growing a whole room of it now, and we're gonna keep going.
If you find the church, guys, make a room of it.
Please,
Keep it growing.
I'm taking it because this is.
Keep it growing. It's good living right there. That's very delicious.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Well, I didn't come up with it. I just kind of like brought it out and found it again. So.
Hey, that's sometimes just as important as inventing it.
How
you
great
know?
it would be if I was though. That it's kind of like being a part of it all. That would have been great too.
Yeah,
familiar.
absolutely. Now tell us a little bit about your sort of interest in the quote-unquote weed game. Obviously, you've been doing your thing on the music front for many years now. Set the bar very high in that regard. What kind of drew you to the cannabis space?
Well, I mean, it kind of drew me because like for years people have been saying, let's have the Shavo strain, let's have the System of a Down strain, let's have this. I'm like, dude, I don't want to just do that, to throw my name on something.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I mean, it sounded cool to have like the Shavo OG or something,
But at the same
But
time,
at the same
it's
time,
not the
exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean, years passed, and then me and one of my really like good friends from when I was really young, he's a manufacturer of clothing, really quality goods, and we've been talking. And I'm like, I dress a certain way where it's like pretty like simple and like, but I like quality, and let's make some clothing and start a brand that's like quality that also is simple, not too many brand names on it, but if it does, it's cool. It's like
Not
a
loud.
black on black, not loud, exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing on it.
Thank you. Exactly.
Just the tag and the
Yeah,
label.
that's it. And if you're gonna have a brand on it, it's gonna be on the little corner. You know what I mean, little set. So we started that whole thing, and then when we got reacquainted with our third partner, who's an actual grower in LA, he's like, and he kind of showed me his new spots, and I was like, wow, dude, like this is real. This is not some guy in his backyard trying to slang weed. And this is a guy doing it legally, doing it right, and doing it like clean. Like you can eat off the floor. They're playing music to the flowers. Like it became. So this is like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, where I discovered this. Well, we kind of got reacquainted.
No, here's a question. Are they playing System of a Down to the
They actually had it the day I visited. Actually, one of the rooms had it. And I was like,
That's
"Come
an
on, dude!"
important nuance. It can't just be any
The flowers were
music.
doing this,
Yeah, there you go.
So, anyhow, it became like something like where it's like maybe we can join forces and make something good happen. Not just like try to put my name on something and see what happens, but actually like work on this full time. My band's not working too much nowadays. We did our last little stint of shows, which was great.
My homie just went to Vegas.
Really, I love those shows, man.
just
We
went,
had. My only thing is I wish we had more. You know what I mean? Because I love that. That's when I really feel alive when I'm on stage. Anyhow, so since I'm making music on the side, which is another part of 22 Red, which is the brand, I just wanted to start this umbrella, this name, something cool where I can drop quality clothing, drop quality, flower, and then now I'm gonna drop my music through it. So I'm gonna make it an imprint also. So it's a full-on lifestyle brand. It's not just some cannabis brand that's like, here's some vapes and here's some freaking joints and give me your money. I'm not doing that. And I don't, it's all about like making everything likable, lovable, like.
Has heart in it.
Yeah, because I have my heart in it, and I work all day on this. Like I woke up at 7:30, got my kids ready, and then next thing you know, the phone's ringing, boom, boom, boom. Like I'm just like, the package just came. I have to look at this. I'm not just paying people to do it. I'm doing it because like
Right.
it has to be by us.
It has to be done right too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got to smoke a lot of weed in it's the research process.
All of the research process.
Guys, it's not a joke out here. Hard work goes into this game. Research has to be done, conducted at high levels. Scientists in
Light
lab
that up again,
coats.
too. There are scientists in lab coats nowadays.
That's the
doing
way.
what they're
That's the
doing,
way
yeah.
it's headed.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the way it's headed for damn sure.
It's awesome
Now, tell me a little bit more about that element of it too. Like, do you feel like obviously the game has changed so much, over the years here in California?
That's delicious.
In terms of your observing it, like, how do you feel about where things are headed with legalization, with sort of scientific elements coming into play? How do you feel like 22 Red is going to be, part of that narrative?
Let me think about that one. I mean, I've seen how it's changing and I've seen where it's going, but I still feel like quality will prevail, and I think everyone coming in with money and a name will fall through the cracks because it's just going to be a flavor of the month. That's something that I will not stand by, you know what I mean, to be the flavor. I think the goods will stand, in time. Because right now it's like a bubble. Everyone's trying to get in. Everyone's trying to make a buck.
Every single person
So
that's
let them
ever
come and
done
try.
anything tries to put
Let
their
them
name on
make
it.
each other fall. And then whoever is actually doing it with the heart and actually put something into it, I think we'll stand up. Stand out. And I don't mind the tissue culture. I think it's making better plants without pesticide use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I mean, please tell me. The right. Because that's how I'm seeing it.
No.
Yeah, I just think the growers are just getting more and more keen on how to grow without, because of these new compliances, which I'm freaking thankful for.
Right.
I don't want to.
You really know what you're.
Shit.
Yeah, this is actually tested.
Yeah, which
I
is
bought
great.
it not from the club.
No.
It's like my friend. I'm like, oh, I got to test.
Yeah.
Let me get it.
Yeah, why not?
Awesome.
Why wouldn't you if you can? So that's where I stand, man.
I like that.
And where 22 will be, I don't know. We'll see. Right now I'm taking it day by day. I'm like, things are coming to me. There's so many options of what I could do with it. I don't want to also take on too much where it'll fall apart, because I can't stand with like 5 things in my hand. I'd rather have 3 things in my hand and I can hold and stand and run with it instead of having 6 and drop things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's another thing I've learned in life with projects, because things come to you fast, man, and then everyone wants a piece, and then you say yes to people. Your intentions are well, but then you end up dropping the ball. Yeah, man.
Do it all every month. Shit.
So that's where we're at with this, man. 11/11.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you about, you mentioned numerology here. There's a lot of numbers going on. You want to walk us through sort of your numerological approach to this reality that you're manifesting?
Well, 22 is the number I was born with. It was my birthday, April 22nd. April is the 4th month. That's 2-2. So I've always seen 2-2-2-2. You know what I mean? In my in Armenians, when I go 2-2-2, they get what I'm saying. And then I was married May 22nd. I was 22 when System got picked up. I always knew something would happen when I was 22, when I was 18, because I always ran numbers. It was like 22, I see it everywhere. And then when that happened in 22, I was like, something's going to happen when I'm 22 years later. So I'm going to do something. It's now, I'm 44 now. So it's 22 years later, and I found the church, which
it's been a while.
You know what I mean? And I'm doing something where my heart's involved, man, and I'm just going to push it as much as I can.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, then I started looking up the number, and, there's things about it I didn't even know, how it manifests things, and it's like a master builder number. Yeah, so it's like, man, kind of been what I've been doing.
Positive.
That's what I've been doing with my life, though. I dream it, and then it happens, or
think about it so much that it fucking happens. You're
like we're blessed people,
remember when I talked about that shit?
Yeah, it's happened. Like, I'll tell you a little story with System. The first song we ever wrote, well, Darren, our guitar player, brought this song in, and we systemized it, played it our way, and the first time we completely played it as a band, I felt this. I saw Rick Rubin in my head, dude. No joke. And this is like Darren knows, because I whispered in his ear. I was like, dude, this shit. I know it doesn't sound like anything that's been done, but because Rick's done so many different things and his genres are so limitless and borderless, that I think he would dig this if he heard it. That's it. That's all I said. 97, Rick Rubin comes, sees the show, signs us, and does it all, and produces all our albums. I swear to God. So I mean, that's a manifesting thing, right?
Yeah, it really is. Once you're speaking to the universe, it's there. You just have to try to keep going,
Yeah, manifest it with your mind. Now, speaking of great connections, speaking of manifestation, speaking of things on the horizon, Shavo, we like to make sure that our audience is up on what's going on with you. We take some pictures from your Instagram. Oh, man. We show them to the audience. You just tell us what's going on in the picture.
Oh, shit.
I think this first one is just kind of you hanging with a homie.
Literally look exactly the same.
Wait,
that's right.
Wait, hold on. Wait a second.
This is a mirror image,
This was a little while ago.
Guys, we have time machines.
Hey, that's a B-Real Studios.
There you go. We just, we don't...
I could sail by the little stairs.
We just need your mouth. We just need your mouth to move.
That's
and then
so
we're all good. Okay, I think, what do you hear? You're sniffing on some bud there? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's actually, I was not sniffing. I was holding it against my beard, because, see, the only way we know it was before, because my beard's shorter in the picture, because
I thought you were holding
the
your beard.
bud's covering
I swear
it.
to God, I thought you were doing this.
Because the bud's covering it. No. I'm holding a bud to my beard just to size it up right there. And yeah, that's at B-Real's place, B-Real TV.
Now, you've posted a few pics with you and B-Real and Burner. Are they gonna? How have they been influential on your moves that you've been making in this space?
Kind of been. I don't know Burner as well as I know B. B I've known forever, and he's a really good friend of mine. Burner seems like a really good person. We've met a few times. Every time I'm around him, he's just a great, good spirit. You know what I mean? So, but I can't say much about him. But I do follow him, and I am intrigued with his hustle. He's got a good game plan. He's got a good workflow, and I totally am with that. Whatever you do, if you got that much passion, you're gonna succeed, and that's what he's got. So, and then B's just got, B. I mean, alone,
Nonstop.
just Cypress Hill alone is B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then he's got everything else. So I'm really like, really good person.
Icons in the game.
For legends, yeah.
Speaking of legends, I think this next image from your Instagram, maybe you and Ma Dukes?
Who?
Your mama. Or a lady
That's my
that
mom.
might be
That's me and my mom.
might be trying to grab you off off the playground.
How cute.
Sorry, I just
that was.
assumed
I think
mom.
that was Mother's Day. I posted that. That's me in Armenia when I was like 3 years old, probably 2-3 years old.
That's pretty dope. How often do you get back to Armenia?
We went back in 2015 and played a show there, man. It was crazy. We played in the main square of Yerevan, the city I was born in, and the whole country, practically, that's what it looked like, showed up.
Fuck.
It was nuts. It was a free show. We just set up a stage in the middle of the town square and played.
No shit.
It was on the eve of the 100-year anniversary of our genocide.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was because that occurred in 1915. It was perpetrated by the Ottoman Empire towards the Armenian people. But that's another story. So 2015, April 23rd, the day after my birthday, we played in Armenia. And kind of,
shit.
you know what they did that was really cool? And you'll totally get this. All the churches, because we're like a Christian nation, all the churches rang their bell 100 times prior to our set, like in the streets of Armenia. So the whole country, bong, 100 times,
So
and
the
then,
whole
and then
country
our
came out for
set
the show,
started. Yeah,
basically?
it's
Shit.
crazy.
Wild.
Wild, right? I got chills telling you that story.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So let's see. What's your outfit there? What's your 3-year-old outfit looking like?
What if it was this? You know?
Yeah, there's a story. We need to merge. We need to merge the
would've
two
been
images.
fucking-
Your mom's
That's
just
a
mom's just holding a
What's
picture of
going
you
on?
in your blacked out hat, your blacked out shirt.
That's
Yeah.
so
You've
funny.
been consistent since you were 3,
Hey.
dude. Shavo.
Hey man, that's something people
No
say
one
about
can
me.
say
I
you
am
haven't
consistent.
been doing this.
Yeah, no.
You know. Speaking of doing this, speaking of big concerts, I think this next one finds you on stage.
Oof, yeah. That's from. Wait, let me see the shoes. That's from last year's tour. We did that. That's Europe last year.
That's how you knew because the shoes you were wearing
Yeah,
that tour.
yeah.
I know what you're saying. Like,
know?
oh, my hair was like that.
Yeah, and then
That's
because
2014.
I haven't changed since I lost the weight. I haven't changed the outfit. The black shirt, the black pants. You know.
Just keeping it consistent once
yeah,
again.
Yeah. This last time I did sport a 22 red thing in the back, and I had some red shoes on. So
Okay,
kinda
like a
bad.
little subtle tweak.
A little hint. Like a little
I
change,
got
but
you, a subtle tweak.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have been pretty active on the road. You toured this year. It sounds like you toured last year.
We're doing little stints. Like every year, we'll do a group of shows.
10, 15, something like that?
Last year was more. This year was less. So it averages out to be about that.
Yeah, I feel that. Now, obviously, everybody's interested in sort of the studio part of what you guys do as well. Is there anything that, you've been excited about, thinking about happening in the future?
With System, I don't know. We've written music. We haven't recorded it. We don't know where we're taking it, and that's okay. I can just leave it there. With me, I've been in the studio. I have my own studio. I work all the time. I've been like driven. Things like movement in life inspires me. So if there's like something happening good here in this part of my life, it comes out with music, and I like to play, and I like to create it and record it. And I've been working with these guys, and they're two really cool dudes that like know their stuff. They're young, they're really fire, and that's kind of me. I'm old with fire, but anyways, we've been working, and there's a lot coming out. And that's where I was like, where do I drop this music? How do I do this? Do I do it this way? Do I do it? And I was like, why don't we just under the umbrella 22 Red and start an imprint?
Oh, that's what the first
I've
thing
been
is.
wanting to do an imprint for forever because there's a lot of people that want to get signed. I see people, and I have my own taste.
Right.
I was like, what if I kind of help people out and see what
Yeah.
I can do with that? And I've always wanted to do it, but I just never did it.
Yeah.
And since I'm driven right now and I have a platform, I think that's where I'm going to take it.
I love that. I love that. Now, speaking of taking things places, sometimes you need an engine to do it. I think this one you're sort of sitting cross-legged under an engine.
Oh, you know what that was? I'll tell you what that was. That's in downtown LA at the museum. That's by the shuttle, the space shuttle. I went on a field trip with my son, like 6-year-old son, with his
Where
preschool,
at
with,
downtown?
with his kindergarten. Right by the Coliseum. There's like, what's the museum there? There's like a space museum. The space museum.
Oh, the space. I didn't even know there was a
Yeah,
space museum.
that's
I
the
know the
space
abroad. That's the only one I know.
So I was just sitting there, and there was like kids everywhere, and I was kind of getting the second to myself, and another dad took that picture and sent it to me, like, look at you. I was like, I thought no one was seeing me at that moment because the kids were all playing and doing this, and I was like, had a moment of myself, and there it is. Someone took a picture.
Field trip, class field trip.
Class field trip.
Now,
I'm
do you often
chaperoning that?
Do you often tag along for the field
I
trips?
love it, man. I'm like I said, I have different hats I put on.
Kids,
You know,
imagine being an adult. Like, yeah.
man, I love to go to there. Like I love, dude, I'm a dad, and I know what would make me happy if my dad, like when I was 7 years old, my dad went somewhere with me. I would love that, right? So I'm doing that. I'm gonna do everything I can, even if I haven't slept for 2 days, I'll go do that. You know what I mean?
Show up at lunch is the coolest thing you could do.
You know what I mean?
Dad.
Yeah,
I
picking them up when they
I was
don't
a kid.
expect it, and you show up.
Sick.
It's a great feeling seeing them smile like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, I think also this next picture might somehow relate to having fun with the kids. It seems like you're dressed up for Halloween. Yeah.
This?
Yeah.
That's Rex from Pantera. Rex Brown from Pantera. We played some shows with. He was playing in a band called Down. Back, I don't know what year this was. 06 or something.
Right.
05, 06, and I think it was an Ozfest even. But we were having a night. We were drinking.
Enjoying yourselves.
And then that's my hero, though. Like, that's Rex, my hero. I'm a bass player, but listen to Pantera. My first pit ever was a Pantera pit, and now we're kicking it there.
My first concert ever was a Pantera Far Beyond Driven tour.
Wait, I was in the... Was that mine? No, I was in the Vocal Display. That was my first. It was at the Shrine.
Yeah. Far Beyond Driven was with Sepultura and Biohazard.
Oof, good one. See, all those bands.
Yeah.
Sepultura, another sick band.
Legends.
Yeah.
Legends.
Yeah,
Well, this last one, I think, is a little bit more lighthearted.
Oh, there
I think
it is.
you're dressed up for Halloween.
Yeah, this was last week.
This was last week.
Yeah, this was last week. Yeah, I mean, it says it all,
Like
right?
a Donald Trump costume. I mean, yeah.
No, it's like I'm sitting on him.
Oh no, I got you.
I don't know. People took that as in like, does he like him? Does he not like him?
I
I'm
would
like,
say
come on,
no.
you should know how I feel,
No, I'm
motherfuckers.
standing on it.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Are you covering his mouth on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, here's a question. Were there multiple options? Could you have had different characters?
I actually have. If you look a year ago, I have another outfit that I'm sitting on someone else's shoulders, like a clown or something. What I did is I bought this outfit last year. I'll be honest. I'm gonna give it up. This year I've been so busy I couldn't go buy an outfit, but I got the kids their things, I did that, but I just didn't have taste. I was like, what am I gonna do,
Right.
But last year I was really amped, so I bought a few outfits last year. So when we were like decorating the house, I looked through this bin and there was like there's a Donald Trump mask. I'm like, what is that? And I look and it's actually that outfit. So I was like, I'm gonna wear this because I didn't wear it last year. So it's perfect to wear it this year,
Yeah, totally. Sometimes, guys, you need to have a Halloween costume savings bank.
You have to.
You know what I mean? Just keep saving those costumes because you never know.
I have kids though. Yeah,
I know.
You
My
wanna
little brother was
withdraw.
last year, trick or treating this year, so I don't know. I just haven't dressed up in so long.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it's good to dress up. Hope everyone had fun for Halloween.
And we're safe.
We like to make sure we take a second to thank our very good sponsors. Swami Select, our cannabis sponsor. Thank you guys for bringing us fine cannabis. Candy Pens, thank you for making wonderful vaporizers that the world enjoys on a daily basis. We'll shout out your product again too, Shavo. Make sure you guys are checking for 22 Red. They're going to be bringing you great apparel. They're going to be bringing you great cannabis. They're going to be bringing you great music.
Thank you. Thank you. And we're dropping 11/11 this Sunday. If you follow our IG, 22 Red LA, or my IG, Shavo Odadjian, you will know where we are and what time we are at that place.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we've checked in with Shavo. We like to make sure we also check in with the world. We do a section called Roll the News. Fortunately, we're all rolled up. Smoke is in the air. We go around the world. We check in. Obviously, today is an important day. It is election day. People are at the polls. People are showing their opinions, letting their voices be heard, standing behind the words that they like to spew all over social media nonstop. It's time to take action, guys. Fill in those dots. Make your choices because this is a representative system and you need to participate in order for your voice to be heard. We thought we might bring you a couple quick updates around the election. This is a really quick voter's guide around the country. There's a lot of different races. These ones are a little bit clear, but we have some folks that are running for re-election who really don't have good records around cannabis and marijuana legalization, and we have some people that they do. We want to just share with you guys a couple picks for us. In Florida, there's a competitive race. Rick Scott is running for the Senate against incumbent Bill Nelson. Rick Scott is a very regressive person when it comes to cannabis policy. Make sure you support Bill Nelson in Florida. Nevada is also a very competitive race for the Senate. You have Jackie Rosen against Dean Heller. Now, I just want to point out to you guys, obviously this is a really tight one, and Rosen is obviously someone that we'd love for you to support because she's really been doing her hard work around cannabis and cannabis liberalization. And then in Texas, a lot of people are talking about this race. Beto O'Rourke, obviously running against the infamous Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz gets an F in his support of cannabis from NORML. So, it's important to go out there, do your homework, let your voice be heard, because it's a privilege, guys, that we have, and you should definitely leverage that right. The second story we have from tonight's installment of Roll the News. We enjoy freedoms here in the United States. Canada just went federally legal.
Yeah.
Japan and South Korea are warning their citizens not to smoke weed in Canada where it's legal because they're going to apply the Japanese and South Korean law on them.
In Canada.
If you're a South Korean citizen or a Japanese citizen, the government is warning you that even if you smoke marijuana in a legal territory, you could still be prosecuted in Japan or South Korea.
They're going to drug test them?
Guys, this is a wild story.
Scary, man.
Guys, things are getting better around the world.
But then again, if you leave South Korea or North Korea, do you?
No, I mean, but it's crazy that someone has that much fucking hold on their people.
Would you like to hear a quote? Weed smokers will be punished according to the Korean law, even if they did so in countries where smoking marijuana is legal, said Yoon Se-jin of the Narcotics Crime Investigation Division. He added, there will not be an exception.
But how do they know?
Guys, I have no clue.
They're gonna drug test fucking people. That's
how
the
do they
scariest thing I've
plan
ever
on
heard.
enforcing this? No one has an
It's
idea.
like going back
But
to jail all the time.
I would say for sure this is a huge scare tactic. I mean, what kind of crazy thing is that to say to your people that you're in a country where something is legal?
I'll tell you that much. In '98, when we were there, and we looked for weed, mushrooms were legal, and they sold them at stores.
Legal?
Yeah, in Japan. But weed was like and they had pipes, beautiful pipes, And then if you ask like, where's the stuff in it, they'll like look at you like, oh, you're not talking to me, like that bad.
Wow.
It's looked at like really, and then I remember like we walked for hours just to get like, oh, it's crazy over there, and it's still like that.
In Japan too, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Japan.
Oh,
yeah,
in Korea.
No,
yeah, dude.
I've never been there.
My homie went over there. He said the same thing. He said, "Don't even talk. Don't even ask people for weed out there." He
Even
lives
B,
there
I
now.
think the last time B was there with Prophets of Rage, I remember seeing posts where it's like, "Hey, hook a brother up if you even Be Real couldn't get any in Japan." It was like, no, you don't want it.
No one's
man.
gonna want it.
No,
one's
they're gonna fuck
even-
you up over there and keep you there.
Well, Asia, Japan, South Korea, shout out to you. You do your thing, but we
Man.
do our thing, and you should try to respect the people who are here doing their thing
What's
as well.
up with China? They fuck weed. They like weed.
Well, China is like, they manufacture all of
All
these
of it.
all of
I
these
know, but do
pieces,
they like
right?
weed?
But the actual product itself, they're actually the market leaders in CBD. They're the #1 exporter,
Wow.
producer of CBD in the
legal.
entire world.
Saying like, what are the
Illegal
laws out there? That's
cannabis, you're
scary.
gonna get busted as though it's heroin. No,
Exactly,
no
that's what I mean,
difference.
like, is it
They're-
horrible
they're-
over there?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
hard.
scary?
But they haven't issued a statement threatening their citizens for their behaviors abroad when they're completely within the realm of the law.
Crazy
Yeah,
as
it's nuts.
fuck.
Korea and Japan, chill out, smoke a joint, guys.
For real, damn.
It's not that real, all right? Okay, we have a third story from tonight's installment of Roll the News. Obviously, Shavo, we're very excited that you've got your product in market. This is a story about another legend, entertainment legend, who is coming into the cannabis game. Francis Ford Coppola
I read that.
has just
read
announced
that.
he too will be launching his
Why shouldn't
Growers series, the Growers series. Here's a great picture of Francis Ford. He's living the good life. He's rocking a beret. Of course, he's smoking a joint.
I mean,
the
he's
only
got
thing,
the wine. I mean,
the
why-
only
why
thing that's
wouldn't
not
he?
in that picture is the joint. They had to Photoshop the joint
I was saying
out.
like,
He was already
where's
smoking in this picture.
What's going on? Yeah, there's no weed in this picture.
You direct great movies. You make great wine. I guess you want to put out great cannabis. What do you think, Shavo? Are you ready for some Francis Ford Coppola? You want to
Listen,
smoke
man,
on
the
that
only
coke?
thing I don't like from all these brands is when their weed's not quality. I'm just gonna say that, man. I just can't handle it. I don't like smoking other people's pre-rolls. It's just, they just put shake in there. They have this outdoor shake that they put in there, and it's like, I'm trying to go indoor full plant,
Yeah, that's the whole point.
So that's my only thing. I'm not even talking about me anymore. For anyone that smokes, it just sucks. It's the same price for that outdoor and the indoor shake. It's like but they have a brand on it, you know?
It's, if you say indoor, it could be shake, popcorn nugs,
Yeah.
larf. It's
Anything.
all weed. But like technically, that's weed.
So that's the
So,
only thing
it
about
sucks.
it, you know? Like, I've seen a lot of the bigger brands
I
just
busted
are
open
like that.
big name pre rolls and they were just trash.
Terrible.
Inside. Trash. inside.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I was with a friend, in the business, He's a lawyer in the business, and he was like, "Yeah, this is top shelf pre-roll," and he gave me one, and I lit it when I was home, and I seriously put it out because top shelf pre-roll nowadays is shake.
Was it mint? Did it taste like old?
No, it tasted like swag.
I hate that it
Tasted
you
like
could
swag,
taste
or it was really old or something. I don't know.
That's what I say. Like old
Yeah.
trim, it tastes like it has like old like brown on it or some shit.
Yeah.
Thumbs down to Old Trim, guys. Thumbs up to great cannabis. Francis Ford Coppola, get up north, do your homework. I'm sure you're up there. Now, his winery wanted to make sure that everyone was clear they are not overseeing this business.
He makes wine too.
This is what he's doing on his own. Yes, the Francis Ford Coppola Estates.
It's not the same?
No, they're
wow.
they're going to be separate entities, but both overseen by Francis Ford Coppola himself.
Well, good up on him.
Good up on you, buddy. I'm looking forward to smoking. Come on the show, Francis Ford Coppola. We invite you onto About That Time.
I'm gonna come when he's here.
Let us debut Francis Ford Coppola. Let us debut your cannabis, please. Let us debut your cannabis. We're down to chill. We can even sip a glass of wine if you'd like. I think it would be a good time. Anyway, guys, that was Roll the News. We went around the world. We checked in with you, Shavo. We also like to make sure that we check in with the stars. We do something we call astrology time. We break out our salt crystal lamp. We turn it on. We open another joint.
Yeah, why not?
We get into another dimension. We check it. We're gonna check in with the stars because it's astrology
Good
time.
thing, though. You know what I mean?
All right,
Really childproof.
guys.
Exactly.
Proof in the pudding. Childproof packaging. Thinking about the children.
You have to.
Negligent
Even though the
behavior
law
eliminated.
changed back to you don't have to do it, we're just going to always do it just because, we got kids, man.
And
we
honestly,
know how it is for you who
it's
have
not
kids.
tampered with for sure.
Yeah.
They should seal it.
No.
No
for sure.
tampering. Zero tamper policy.
Boom.
Now is this the other? This is not the church.
No, this is the OG. So let's taste it and see how good it is. Right?
Yep.
Pass that on.
Deal. I'll keep this torch ablazing while we light another.
Smokes well.
We're in the astrology time dimension.
Tastes good.
Smokes
forgot
well,
the
tastes
taste.
good.
It's so good.
Dry hit it, and you could tell.
I've been
it's gonna be
smoking a lot of the
bullshit,
church, so I forgot how the OG is so special,
No,
Like I said, that's all I smoke all day.
Yeah.
Shavo,
gotta
before we
switch.
get too deep in astrology time, do you follow your horoscope? Are you into that stuff?
I've done it. There's been times in my life where, yes, I've gone to it. Recently, I don't know nothing.
Right.
I'm a Taurus. I'm born April 22nd.
Well, what we did is we went
might
to
blow your
your
mind.
we went to your horoscope.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
come on.
you know how
Yeah, me too.
Oh, no.
yeah, Shavo, you know how this can be though. Sometimes it feels like it's on point. Sometimes it feels like what are they talking about?
Yeah, you're going to be on point, aren't you?
No, we just pulled out a bunch of sentences, and you're going to tell us if you think
Okay,
they're on point.
okay.
All right. The element number one from tonight's installment of Astrology Time
Another?
I like it.
has an enormous love of good food. Are you a food guy?
Yeah.
What are you munching on?
I was more before the weight loss, you know what I mean?
Right.
I lost like 50-some pounds in the last 2 years just from eating better and like going to the gym. I just was eating everything. I just all night, all day, whenever. I just didn't care. I would eat chips. I would eat whatever, cake. It was there. I didn't really think. I was always skinny my life.
Right.
So I didn't care about weight. And then all of a sudden I looked at myself and I was like 220. Not doing this now.
Yeah.
So went back and but I appreciate good food. I have restaurants that I just, I'll cheat day, cheat week will be, So I eat, but I love pizza the most.
Let's make a list though. What's on your cheat week list?
Pizza. And then there's this Italian restaurant in Pacific Palace. I think it's Pacific Palace. It's called Giorgio Baldi.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice Italian food. It's better than some food in Italy. I've gone all over the place. It's like really good Italian food.
Yeah, well, you got to have your list, that cheat
Yeah.
week list.
But that's where I'm like the same with weed. It's like kind of like I appreciate good things.
Yeah.
Quality.
Well, sounds like the horoscope was pretty on point with that. It's funny because I didn't know about your weight loss regimen. The next element I have from your horoscope says likely to adopt a regular workout regimen.
Boom. See,
Look,
until
I can't even make that
until
up. Look at that.
Until 2.5 years ago, that would be no way. That's not right. No, but now, yeah, because I never worked out a day in my life back in the day. It just was like whatever. I'm always thin.
Moving around.
I move around, but I never had that problem, and I didn't eat a lot either.
Right.
So, but then when I just started, it was more of gluttony. I was like drinking, eating.
Right.
Stopped all that.
Well, times change.
Yes.
The
you have
horoscope tries to
You
keep
gotta
up.
stay. I have kids. You gotta stay healthy. You're trying to stay alive for the earth.
But sometimes you also got to eat pizza. It sounds like.
I love that.
Now,
yeah.
are you a toppings guy or do you like a plain pizza?
I'm not two toppings. No, plain pizza.
Just plain pizza.
Plain. yeah, I'm not a big pepperoni fan anymore. I'm not eating as much meat as I used to.
Right.
Just give me that good like margarita and I'm cool.
Margarita and I'm cool.
Yeah.
Now, are there any pizza places you want to give a shout out to?
I really like Mozza Pizza. I'm gonna say that right on Melrose. They don't even know me there, but I love going there and grabbing a pizza there.
What is it called?
It's M-O, is it Mozza Pizza? Mozza?
Moza.
Mozza?
I've been to some
Mozza. No, it's Highland and Melrose.
Highland and Melrose.
Really
It's
good
a it's a legendary restaurant.
It's a great spot.
Legendary.
I go to the to-go area. It's quicker.
Guys, to go is quicker. That's true. That's
There's
real.
the
That's
side
real
is the
LA
to-go.
knowledge.
It's not the same restaurant, but it's the same
Guys,
restaurant.
at Mozza, when you order your Shavo approved cheat day pizza,
God, I'm stoned up to my
use
food.
the to-go counter.
Oh, what's happening?
It's gonna be hella quicker.
The only pizza that I really like, I wish it could have, is the pizza in Home Alone 2 when he opens it up by the limo.
Oh.
Oh my god, that's the best.
We're going to get pizza after this, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, it's an astrology time pizza moment. We're going to have pizza afterwards. Check it out. Come with us. Have a pizza moment too.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes important. Okay, number 3, from your horoscope. Good investment decisions are a snap for him. Do you feel like you're good at the investments?
I don't know.
You're kind of making an interesting investment right now.
I am. I don't know how good it is. No. I don't know. I'm okay, yeah. Not bad at it.
Right.
I haven't messed up or nothing, but I could have done better, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Sometimes
we
it
all
happens.
could have, right? We all could have done better. And
everyone thinks
so
it
yeah,
always.
okay, I'm bad at
Did you
that.
take a loss?
No, even in 08 I was fine. It's still,
you
you
go.
know,
You
but
won.
you know, it's
Here, you want that?
it is what it is.
Yes, sir.
All right, that one sounds like it's 50-50.
I go more hard. Bless you. I
Pardon
do
me.
things that I don't get paid for because I just like to do things, you know.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
We have one more from your chart on tonight's installment of Astrology Time. Formulates definitive career plans at an early age. Did you ever have dreams at an early age of what you're doing now?
Crazy. No. I did always, okay, from 5 years old when I saw Kiss, I wanted to play music and stuff. I always asked for a guitar, so yes. But I never thought I would do what I'm doing, swear. It was just because I loved it and I wanted to do it. Didn't really think of it as being a career.
Right.
Still went to school, still had jobs. I'm telling you, as I got signed, I was still working and I was going to school. So I tell my counselor, hey, I'm about to go on tour. And but I have like 2 more semesters left or a semester left. And the dude's like, dude, this is your dream, right? I said, yeah. He was like, go, we'll be here if it doesn't work. So I went. That's how it was. So I always like kept, dude, I never thought this would, you know, it's like, it's that needle in the haystack, you know, you don't expect yourself to be. So I'm very grateful of it.
Yeah. Sometimes you end up in the haystack in a different place than you ever imagined.
Exactly.
And then you're just like, you know, on about that time, smoking your weed, just living that life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you ever go back to school and finish that?
No.
Me neither.
No.
I'm 1 semester away.
Yeah,
from
1
my
semester away, yeah.
I never
But
went
it's
back.
but it's like
Guys, this
yeah.
could be a reality show with the two of you.
You want to go to school, bro? Let's go.
Shavo
We're going
and
back.
Thomas are back to
It's just straight,
school.
Oh my
If I can go to
goodness.
school by myself with a teacher and not have to listen to anybody else, I'm gonna go to
It's
school.
that homework thing that I freak out with, that I have to go home and do it.
Never
You
did
know?
that, yeah.
I'd love to be there and study and like would take it in,
You know what I mean?
but then going home and like I got other things that I got 3 kids.
Absolutely. Well,
I didn't have kids at the time. But,
I
I
have
mean,
to
I don't
do-
have kids, but
I have to help them with their homework.
and then like I just can't do school, man.
anyway, guys, I'm ready for your new Amazon limited series, Shavo and Thomas Back to
Go
School.
back to school.
I'm
last
definitely tuning
30
in.
minutes.
I can see it happening.
I
man.
That'd
definitely
be
tuning
hilarious.
in.
I gotta be honest.
I'm
That's
ready.
so
I
funny.
think it's already happening.
It's in the works. It's in
already
the
happened.
works.
Anyway, guys, that was astrology time. I think it was fresh per usual. Shavo, thank you so much for coming through.
Dude,
We
thank
like
you
to
for having
make
me.
sure that you give everyone out there a sense of what they should be checking out for, where they can come link with you, et cetera, before we
Well,
wrap up.
I said it before. I'm mostly active on Instagram, Shavo Odadjian, and check out 22 Red LA, and that's about it. I have 22red.com. You'll see more updates there for the brand. Other than that, man, I'll see you on 11/11 at a specific place that I will launch.
didn't say where at.
I'll tell you tomorrow morning.
Guys,
How's
stay
that?
tuned in. 22 Red has a lot on the horizon. We're also going to shout out our sponsors once again. Candy Pens, Vaporizers, you guys rule. Swami Select, the best cannabis that you could smoke from the Mendocino, outdoors, grown under the stars. It's been a pleasure, as always. Shavo, thanks again for coming through, my
Thank you,
friend.
my brother.
We'll talk to you soon, guys. Mary Jane, about that time. We're out.